What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about how Control's PS5 upgrade is a joke. Short, simple, and straight to the point. Honestly, this is dumb. This is truly, truly dumb. I've seen, obviously, yesterday this came out, okay, this whole news story, and I'll talk about it really quickly just to kind of catch people up. And then there's the backlash. There's an insane amount of backlash. I think very, very rightly so. You know, I try to kind of pride myself on YouTube, both on this channel and on Podcast Now, of trying to remain in the middle, kind of seeing both sides of things, right? If there's criticism for a game or a decision or something like that, trying to see both sides, ultimately having an opinion of my own, but understanding or respecting different people's opinions. For this, I really just don't, I think I agree with the mob here, honestly. So let's go over what happened. Basically, Control, there's a Ultimate Edition that was announced, okay? And this is basically the re-release. This is your Game of the Year edition. This is your, whatever version you want to call it. And this game is coming out, okay? It's going to have Control. It's going to have all of the DLC, both the ones that are coming out in the short term and also in the long term, and every update and patch that's been done to it, okay? Up till now and then for the future, okay? And now this is coming out to get the PS5 version, which we have actually, and this is one of the biggest things, this is one of the biggest problems with this game, is we've known for a while that they've told us that there is going to be that free upgrade. So again, to kind of like cover my tracks or cover my bases here, one of the things to make very clear is I get it. At the end of the day, you can play games backwards compatible from PS5 or from PS4 to PS5. Okay, I'm only specifically talking, I guess you can consider it other ways as well, even for Xbox, right? You're going to be able to play backwards compatible. What I'm talking about and what Control, in this case, what the game is talking about, is having a specific PS5 version or Xbox Series X version where it will play better, it will look better. It's been optimized in some way so that it's better for next gen. It is better to play it for the PS5 specific version or the Xbox Series X specific version rather than just doing backwards compatibility. So I get it. You can play the PS4 version on your PS5, right? You can play the Xbox One version on your Xbox Series X through backwards compatibility. That's fine, but to do the free version, to get the free update, you need the Ultimate Edition. You cannot use your normal edition. This is honestly a very stupid move and a very just insulting, honestly, because here's the deal. Here's ultimately, I think, the biggest thing. I don't even have Control. I don't own Control. Control was a game, right, came out last year, I believe, last August, right? So it's been a full year. Came out last August and was that game, a kind of game that I guess you would qualify as like a sleeper hit where not a lot of people bought it, which is honestly kind of what Remedy does, right? Even Alan Wake. Like, Alan Wake is such a loved game. I love Alan Wake. I actually did play Alan Wake back in the day. I think that's a phenomenal game, and it's kind of the same thing. It was, it's loved by people who played it. It's loved critically. Control got Game of the Years last year. It was a Game of the Year contender, and a lot of publications gave it Game of the Year. But this was a game that just not a lot of people bought. Okay, it's not a game that's like the most popular thing in the world. And so honestly, you're spitting in the face, in my opinion, at those people, because you're saying, okay, the people that supported us day one, the people that bought it, the small amount, because it's not even like we're talking about tens of millions. We're talking about a handful of million of people. Okay, those people that helped support our game and had confidence and loved it, and again, like, played it last August and all this stuff, for you guys, you don't get this. You don't get the next gen version, even though we said months and months ago that there will be the next gen upgrade for it. So again, I just don't think that's right. That now, if you bought and again, like, to me, it doesn't matter, but that doesn't mean that I can't pick a side here, right? Honestly, even to me, this is kind of a situation where maybe I buy the Ultimate Edition, where they actually get somebody like me, because it's like, well, why in God's name would I buy the original game, okay, the 2019 game, and then maybe if I want the Season Pass, I can get the Season Pass later. And that's the other thing. If you bought the game, if you bought the game last year, and then you also bought the Season Pass, well, forget you, right? Because you still don't qualify because you didn't get the Ultimate Edition. That, again, because you basically have the exact same, of course you're going to get the updates and patches, so there's no difference. There's actually no difference between you getting Control 2019, getting the DLC pack or the Season Pass, and then somebody that gets the Ultimate Edition right now. There's no difference, really, but the Ultimate Edition gets the next gen upgrade. So, I've seen seen people on Twitter talk about this. Obviously, again, I'm recording. You guys are seeing this the next day. There's people that are kind of digging into it. 505 Games is the publisher, and what people are thinking is, if you kind of go into the research of it, they have exclusive rights of publishing Control, this game, for the next 20 years. Now, honestly, I don't really know what 20 years, why like that even is a thing. I don't even know why Remedy would sign something so stupid. But also at the same time, it's like, well, the game really, I think, would lose a lot of its value after a few years. Like, does it really matter if you're 505 and then in 15 years from now you say, hey, we've had rights for Control for the last 15 years and we still got 5 years left? Like, does that matter really to that many people? You know what I mean? Maybe they thought it was going to be a bigger game. And again, that's what I think a lot of people are kind of thinking, like online, that maybe they thought it was going to be a bigger game, and obviously it didn't do up to their expectations. And it's, again, kind of on Remedy too, because they signed over. This is kind of like a music deal that they sign. Musicians oftentimes, they basically sign over their life. In some cases, they make some really bad mistakes, and they sign over their life to record labels, and they lose a lot. They lose a lot of potential money they could have made. They lose years off of their career, and their own stuff isn't even owned by them. It's owned by somebody else, right? We've seen that time and time again. And in gaming-wise, I think this is kind of the equivalent. It's not going to matter in a couple more years. Honestly, I think Control will lose a lot of its value in like 2-3 years anyway. But at the same time, you have a situation like this where I feel like this is just to get some extra money. It's maybe them trying to say, okay, well, we got the people that bought it last year. Let's see how many of them are suckers, and we'll buy either the Ultimate Edition or just buy the PS5 or Xbox Series X version. Because ultimately, that's what you're doing. You're saying, okay, anybody who's never... So like for me, again, for someone like me who's never got the game before, they've now guaranteed that if I were to get the game, they haven't guaranteed me buying it, but they've guaranteed that if I were to buy it, I would have to buy the Ultimate Edition. Why would I buy the normal edition, right? So they've guaranteed that, and they've also kind of said, well, let's see how many of the couple million people that bought the game last year, let's see how many we can get to buy the Ultimate Edition or buy the next-gen version, because if they want to play it on next-gen like we promised them, well, they're going to have to buy it again, basically, right? So low move. This is a low ball move. This is a move, I think, just to make a couple extra dollars, honestly, and it's a game that isn't all that selling. Like, again, it's popular for those who played it, and it's loved by those who play, and I completely get that. I love the fact that Alan Wake exists in this universe, and the DLC and all this kind of stuff. I love the fact that this is a shared universe, and future games by them are going to take place in it. Like, all of that's awesome, but from a game development point, that's fine, that's cool. But in terms of how they're doing it, with how you have to buy these games, not cool at all. And honestly, mainly this comes down to 505 Games, but also comes down to Remedy for signing such a stupid contract in the first place, right? So it's basically giving away the rights of this game for forever, basically. I mean, 20 years is not technically forever, but for a game, it's absolutely forever, right? So, guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think this is a joke? Did you buy Control when it first came out? Definitely would like to hear from somebody who did that, right? If you guys have done that, definitely let me know in the comments. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. And I do a brand new video on this channel every single day, and so I hope to see you guys for tomorrow's video.